Chapter 24. During the reign of Jehoiakim, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon invaded Judah, and for 3 years Jehoiakim was dominated by him. But afterward he rebelled. To destroy Judah, the Lord God did as he had said, through his servants, the prophets. That is, he sent against Jehoiakim armed bands of Babylonians, Syrians, Moabites, and Ammonites. This happened to Judah by order of the Lord, to drive out the people of Judah from his presence, because of all the sins that King Manasseh had committed, and mainly because of all the innocent people he had killed. The Lord did not want to forgive Manasseh for this sin. All that Jehoiakim did is written in the history of the kings of Judah. Jehoiakim died, and his son Jehoiakim became king in his place. The king of Egypt never again left his land with his army, for the king of Babylon had conquered all the lands that had belonged to Egypt. From the Euphrates River to the northern border of Egypt, Jehoiakim was 18 years old when he became king of Judah. He ruled 3 months in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Nehushta, and she was the daughter of Elnathan of Jerusalem. Following the example of his father, Jehoiakim did wrong things that do not please the Lord God. It was during the reign of Jehoiakim that the army of Babylon, commanded by the officials of King Nebuchadnezzar, marched against Jerusalem and surrounded the city. While the city was surrounded, King Nebuchadnezzar himself went there, and King Jehoiakim, his mother, his sons, his officials, and the palace attendants surrendered to the Babylonians. In the 8th year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, he took Jehoiakim as prisoner. He also took to Babylon all the treasures of the temple and of the palace. As the Lord had said, Nebuchadnezzar broke all the gold objects that King Solomon had made to be used in the temple. Nebuchadnezzar carried away as prisoners all the people of Jerusalem, all the princes and all the most important citizens, 10,000 people in all. He also took all the craftsmen, including the blacksmiths. Only the poorest people were left in Judah. Nebuchadnezzar took Jehoiakim to Babylon as a prisoner, together with his mother, his wives, his officials, and the most important people of Judah. Nebuchadnezzar sent all the important men to Babylon, 7,000 in all, and 1,000 craftsmen, including the blacksmiths, all of them trained to fight in war. Nebuchadnezzar placed Mattaniah, the uncle of Jehoiakim, as king of Judah and changed his name to Zedekiah. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king of Judah. He ruled 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Hamutal, and she was the daughter of Jeremiah from the city of Libnah. King Zedekiah did wrong things that do not please the Lord God, just as King Jehoiakim had done. The Lord became so angry against the people of Jerusalem and of Judah that he cast them out from his presence, just as King Jehoiakim had done. Chapter 25. Zedekiah rebelled against King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. And Nebuchadnezzar came with all his army and attacked the city of Jerusalem on the 10th day of the month in the 9th year of the reign of Zedekiah. They camped outside the city and built siege ramps around it. They kept surrounding the city until the 11th year of the reign of Zedekiah. On the 9th day of the 4th month of the same year, when the city was pressed by famine, and there was no food for the people, the Babylonians managed to make a breach in the wall of the city. Although they were around the city, all the Israelite soldiers fled during the night. They went out by the way of the king's garden, through the gate between the 2 walls, and fled toward the Jordan Valley. But the Babylonian army pursued King Zedekiah, overtook him on the plain of Jericho, and all his soldiers abandoned him. Zedekiah was captured and taken to the king of Babylon, who was in the city of Riblah. There, Nebuchadnezzar pronounced his sentence against Zedekiah. They killed his sons before his eyes. Then Nebuchadnezzar ordered that the eyes of Zedekiah be put out, and that he be bound with bronze chains. After that, they took him to Babylon. On the 7th day of the 5th month of the 19th year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, counselor of the king and commander-general of his army, entered Jerusalem. He set fire to the temple, the palace of the king, and the houses of all the important people of Jerusalem. And his soldiers tore down the walls of the city. Then Nebuzaradan took to Babylon the people who had been left in the city, the rest of the skilled workers, and those who had gone over to the Babylonians. But he left in Judah some of the poorest people and put them to work in the vineyards and the fields. The Babylonians broke the bronze columns and the carts that were in the temple, and also the large bronze tank. Then they took all the bronze to Babylon. They also took away the shovels and the bowls used to carry the ashes of the altar. They also took the wick trimmers, the incense bowls, and all the other bronze objects used in the service of the temple. Nebuzaradan took away everything that was made of gold or of silver, including the small bowls and the fire pans. It was not possible to calculate the weight of the bronze objects that King Solomon had made for the temple, that is, the 2 columns, the carts, and the large tank they were too heavy. The 2 columns were alike, and each one was 8 meters high, with a bronze capital at the top that measured 1 meter and 30 centimeters high. All around the capital, there was a latticework decoration with bronze pomegranates. Nebuzaradan, the commander-general of the Babylonian army, also took as prisoners Sariah, the high priest, and Zephaniah, the second priest, and the 3 other chief officers of the temple. From the city, he took the officer who had been commander of the troops, 5 counselors of the king who were still there, the officer in charge of mustering men for the army, and 60 more important men. Nebuzaradan took them to the king of Babylon, who was in the city of Riblah, in the land of Hamath. But there the king ordered them to be beaten and then killed. Thus the people of Judah were taken as prisoners out of their land. King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon appointed Gedaliah, son of Ahikam and grandson of Shaphan, as governor of Judah, and put him in charge of all those who had not been taken to Babylon. The officers and the Israelite soldiers who had not surrendered heard about this and went to meet Gedaliah in Mizpah. These officers were Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, Johanan, son of Kareah-Sariah, son of Tanhumeth, from the city of Netapha, and Jozaniah, from Emmaus. Gedaliah said to them, "I give you my word that you do not need to be afraid of the Babylonian officials. Remain living in this land, work for the king of Babylon, and it will be well for you." However, in the 7th month of that year, Ishmael, son of Nethaniah and grandson of Elishama, who was of the royal family, went to Mizpah with 10 men, attacked Gedaliah, and killed him. He also killed the Israelites and Babylonians who were there with him. Then all the Israelites, both the most important and the most humble, together with the army officers, left and went to Egypt, for they were afraid of the Babylonians. In the year that Evil-Merodach became king of Babylon, he was kind to King Jehoiachin of Judah and released him from prison. This happened 37 years, 11 months, and 27 days after Jehoiachin had been taken as a prisoner. Evil-Merodach treated Jehoiachin with kindness and gave him a higher position than that of the other kings who were prisoners with him in Babylon. And so they allowed Jehoiachin to take off his prison clothes and put on his own clothes, and to eat with the king for the rest of his life. And every day, as long as he lived, he received from the king an allowance for his sustenance.